Alright. That unintentionally made for a cool entrance to the video. Hey everyone, how's it going? I just accidentally recorded half of this video in a Dutch angle, aka like this, and now I'm gonna redo it all again, but looking better. So yeah, Sony did a conference this week, a Paris Games event thing, I don't know what it was called, and they announced and showed off quite a few games, and I'm gonna talk about those few games after I adjust the camera a little bit so it looks better than this. So the first game they showed was a game called Ghost of Tsushima. Is it Tsushima or Tsushima? Tsushima? I'm not quite sure. But what I do know is that it looked quite cool, you know, feudal Japan kind of thing, kind of like Neo in a sense. Looked very good, like really visually stunning kind of game. No idea what kind of game it is. But I thought it looked cool. I was a lot more excited by it when they revealed, it really was kind of like a reveal, when they revealed the developer at the very end, Sucker Punch. I think that was very intentional. They made a very conscious decision to almost have the developer be more of a reveal than the logo of the game itself. Like, they knew that people would think, you know, looks cool, feudal Japan, whatever, and then they'll think, oh, Sucker Punch, maybe maybe it's worth looking out for then. I mean, that was definitely my reaction when I saw that, which was quite cool that they did that. I've never seen a game do that before, where it's like, you know, here's the game, but here's the real reveal, the developer, so you know it's going to be good. I think The Last of Us 2 did that, but that's different because it's the second one. We know who's making it. It's not the same. I thought it was really interesting though how like the audience had almost no reaction to the logo of the game itself, but when it came up saying Sucker Punch, everyone was like, oh, okay, maybe it's, you know, maybe it's going to be good then. You know, I thought that was interesting. Thought I'd bring it up, I guess. I'm going to give Ghost of Tsushima a 3 out of 5 cane faces because it's Sucker Punch. It's probably going to be okay at the very least. So yeah, you know, completely new direction. Wasn't who I expected, you know. I've never seen them, you know, tackle a game like that before. I'm glad it's not Infamous, I'll say that. I'm really glad Sucker Punch is making something new, you know, it's not Infamous. So, you know what? Make it 4, you know what? I'm in a good mood, make it 4. After that they showed off a game called Concrete Genie, which I thought looked pretty cool. It was about a kid who, you know, draws on walls, the doodles come to life, and I assume you can use those to traverse the environment, have those affect the real world. Stuff like that is pretty cool, but I did think that the trailer it seemed a bit heavy-handed in trying to emotionally manipulate everyone in a sense. Maybe manipulate's a bit of a harsh word, but I don't know, it's almost like, is it not enough that it's a game about a kid who doodles, you know, and the doodles come to life? He also has to be bullied, you know, he also has to be on the floor with a sad face, like, oh, why am I so misunderstood? And then the doodle picks him up, oh, at least he's got his friends in the doodle world. Oh, the feels, I can feel myself crying already. Oh, pre-order that. I don't know, it's like, okay, alright, it's going for the heartstrings, but I don't know, the gameplay looked alright. I'm interested to see what they do with it, because it can be used quite imaginatively, I imagine. I mean, I don't know. It feels like every game nowadays kind of has to have that sense of like, oh, the feels, but looks quite cool, I suppose. It kind of looks like it's going for a bit of a non-linear kind of exploration feel, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, Concrete Genie looks alright, I guess. I'm going to give it 2 cane heads out of 5 because I'm not that interested. That's what I mean as well. These cane heads represent interest, not necessarily quality, just, you know, I'm not really that interested. Make it 1. Make it 2. I'm really not fit for a video like this, why am I doing this? After that they showed off a game called Erica, which kind of looked like Heavy Rain with more FMV elements. It kind of looked a little bit awkward, to be honest. It kind of looked like a stage play made by people who aren't really actors, kind of just awkwardly shuffling around, making faces. I don't know how that's going to work in the context of a game, but I mean, I know when Heavy Rain came out, I remember people saying, you know, the 3D models are kind of weird, the animations, like the facial animations, sometimes they would make faces that look like they aren't a real human being. So I can understand why they'd want to kind of bypass that entire, you know, facet of the game entirely. Just get real people, why not? Then people won't complain about it. I get that, and I think that's cool. I feel like more games need to use FMV elements because they, you know, they seem really charming when they're used in older PC games. But I can imagine it being kind of awkward to play, like, kind of goofy in a way that I don't think they intend. So, I don't know. Looks interesting, I guess. Like a choice-based game. Yeah, I don't know. 3 out of 5 cane heads, why not? I don't know. Make it 2. Next up is a game that they didn't actually show in the actual conference. They showed it very briefly in a montage. They showed it in a pre-show. It's a game called Stifled. It's a horror game that looks very much like The Unfinished Swan, in a way, in the sense that you can't really see your immediate surroundings. You kind of use echolocation, in a sense, and it's a horror game where you can kind of see people running around, but you don't really know much about where you are, like, in the environment. Looks kind of scary. I like that. I like when people kind of put a spin on a horror game like that. Looks like that's what Stifled kind of does. As someone who is deaf, it appeals to me. I realised as soon as I said that, it's not about a deaf person, it's about a blind person, so I can't relate to it. You know what, I give it one cane head, just because I can't relate to it anymore. I don't know, I mean, it looks cool, it looks imaginative, it looks like it would be fun to play. So, you know what, 4 out of 5 cane faces, why not? I need to stop saying why not, because that makes it sound like I'm not really considering these scores, which I'm not, but for that one I was. 4 out of 5 cane heads, definitely. There we go. Next up was Far Cry 5, which looks pretty cool. I feel like I'm getting kind of burnt out on the whole open world, a million things to do thing. You know, it feels like that's definitely a part of the game that they're trying to show off, like, oh, look how many things there are to do. But I would much rather, I mean, I feel like everyone says this nowadays, but I would much rather play a game that has 10 cool things to do than a game that has a million average things to do. Especially when there's going to be like a million things to do, but it's just 5 different things, you know? It's, I don't know. But I do like Far Cry, I do like open world games for just driving around aimlessly, and the Far Cry games are really good at delivering that. They're really fun open worlds. And it does kind of look like they're going for a Bioshock Infinite kind of thing, almost. Like, that kind of like backwoods, not backwoods, but like rural little town, very like religious and culty, you know? Kind of feels like they've gone off the deep edge a little bit with like the religious overtones and stuff. And I don't know, it looks like they're going for something cool. I kind of like it. It's probably not going to be on the same level as Bioshock because it's Ubisoft. It's probably going to be, you know, just a Far Cry game. Looks cool. I'm excited for it. I'll give it 4 out of 5 cane faces. Absolutely. Destiny 2, Curse of Osiris. I mean, next up was Call of Duty World War II, which you might immediately think I would give 0 out of 5 cane heads because, oh, it's Call of Duty, very mainstream, I don't like that, I only like obscure indie games. I mean, that's not entirely false, but I kind of do like the fact that they're going back to World War II and everything, but at the same time, the more cynical side of me kind of thinks they're only doing that because Battlefield 1 did it, you know? And it's like, if it were up to them, they'd be making another bloody futuristic mech wall-running shooter, you know? They're only doing what's popular right now, what's marketable. So I'm not going to be like, oh, well done, Infinity Ward. It's not Infinity Ward. Well done, Sledgehammer Games for doing what's popular. Wow, bravo. It's, you know, of course, they're going to go back to that because Battlefield 1 did it, and as far as I'm concerned, we already have the quintessential World War shooter. Battlefield 1 is amazing. But that is where Call of Duty started off. It is going back to being more like Call of Duty, so if they're going to make another one, I'd prefer it be World War than futuristic mech. And from what I understand, Sledgehammer actually have been really wanting to make a period piece Call of Duty game, so they're making the game that they actually want to make, so it has a good chance of actually being one of the best in years. If I remember right, Sledgehammer Games actually pitched a Vietnam Call of Duty game to Activision, like, please let us make this, we like Call of Duty, we want to make one, please let us make it. So it's not even like Activision was like, you, make a World War II game, I guess. They actually have been wanting to make a game like this for a long time, so if ever there's going to be a good modern Call of Duty game, this will be it. So, you know what? 3.5 out of 5 cane faces! I'm giving you a chance here, COD. Don't let me down. Don't know why I keep doing that. I'm not a game show host. On to the next game, ladies and gentlemen. Next up is Onrush. Stupid name. Change it. But no, it looks kind of cool. It looks kind of like MotorStorm, but a little bit more cartoony. Looks quite fun. Some of these shots in the trailer kind of made me almost fall out of my chair because it went upside down and, you know, flip-flopped around. Looks quite cool. Looks quite high-octane, energetic, like a really fast-paced kind of F-Zero kind of MotorStorm kind of racer. Not really like F-Zero, I'm just saying F-Zero because it's fast. Wipeout, because it looks really fast-paced, but also not like Wipeout because it's not futuristic. It looks fun, alright? God, I don't really know anything about it, but it looks kind of cool, so Onrush gets a 3 out of 5 until I see more, then maybe it'll change, I don't know. Next up was Battlefront 2, and, I mean, it looks okay, I guess. I feel like everyone's still kind of burnt over the whole visceral Star Wars thing, so I'm not the biggest fan of Star Wars video games right now. I already had the perfect one coming out, an Uncharted themed, style Star Wars game, single player campaign. God damn it, give me that! They cancelled that, they give us more, multiplayer, microtransaction, loot box kind of games, so cool. That's what games need more of, I guess. After that was, I don't know, because I haven't brought up the memo yet. Detroit, Become Human. Looks pretty cool. Quantic Dream, they made Heavy Rain, which I liked at the time. Beyond Two Souls, which I didn't at the time. And this, it looks like, a pretty good game. But I did think, though, is that, it's in the same style as Heavy Rain, it's very choice-based. But it looks very one-sided. Like, it doesn't look like it's giving you choices that are very difficult, because the choice that it kind of seemed to be giving the player in the trailer was, do you try to protect the girl from her abusive parent, or do you side with the abusive drunk parent? It's like, oh man, this game's throwing some moral dilemmas my way. I don't know, I mean, if you're going to make a choice-based game, give me two very, desirable choices, not let the girl get beat up by a dad, intervene, like. It does look cool though, honestly. I think it has a better chance of being good than Beyond Two Souls did, because it seems a bit more, not grounded, but I remember Beyond Two Souls, even from the get-go, it looked like it was going to be, jumping all over the place in the timeline, and that was why I didn't really like it. Detroit Beyond Souls, I didn't mean to do that. It does look like you play as a few characters in it, kind of like Heavy Rain, but it seems more, I don't know, it seems more like it's going for something, like it's establishing more of a world and more of, like, characters, and Beyond Two Souls kind of just seemed half-arsed in every aspect, So I'm looking forward to it. I'm expecting it to be very French, very awkward, kind of like, Quantic Dreams games are, but I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 cane faces, because it looks interesting, I suppose, whereas I give Battlefront II a 2 out of 5 cane faces, because I don't think I did that one. Next up is God of War, which I've never played a game of in the series, but this looks like a great point to jump on, even though I do want to, catch up and play all the other games. It does look very good, very, very good. It looks like it's kind of going for the Naughty Dog kind of storytelling thing, but it's also, it's got one foot in Naughty Dog Studios, but also one foot very firmly in God of War, is what I would say if I was a bit of a pretentious, lofty game reviewer. But no, it does genuinely have, like, one foot firmly in its roots. It does look good. It's still got, like, the hack and slashy kind of combat. It still looks very God of War-esque, but also it's going for, like, a very, I don't want to say Last of Us-y, because that's very obvious, but, there's still, like, the father-son kind of dynamic. It's very, like, story-heavy. A very different direction for God of War, but I appreciate that. Like, it's still God of War, but it's a different kind of story, so the game is kind of changing its style to reflect that. It's good. It's really good. It's going to be quite refreshing. Who knows if that's going to be the style of this new series, like, remake series, but also not remake series. I don't know, alright? I'm not currently into God of War, so I don't want to give it a high score, but also this looks like a game for people who aren't currently into God of War. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 cane faces. Sure, I don't know. Next up was the DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn, Frosty Winter, World of Warcraft. I don't remember what it was called, but I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn that much. I'm not invested in it enough to have an opinion on the DLC, but it's more of Horizon, and what I've played of it is good. A lot of people like it, so I'm happy for those people. But in terms of interest, I give it a 2 out of 5 cane faces. I'm sorry, once I play it, it'll probably go up. I might play it now that I'm, kind of back to doing reviews. So, yeah. After that was the game that really threw me off, because when it first started, I was like, wait a minute, this looks familiar. Is this The Last Guardian? Oh my god, it's Shadow of the Colossus. Oh my god! Looked bloody amazing. Not only did it really bloody impress me with the way the forest looked when, like, they were going through the forest. Looked bloody impeccable. But then it went on to show my favourite boss fight. Not only in that game, but probably my favourite boss fight of all time. Phalanx, I think that boss is called. I don't remember, but it looks bloody incredible. I can't wait to play it. I think if they don't include all of the content that was originally going to be in the game, because apparently the game was originally meant to be like 3 times the size that it ended up being. There were so bloody many scrapped Colossi. If they don't include even some of that in this new version of the game, that will probably be the biggest missed opportunity since PT, since Silent Hills, you know, and now since the visceral Star Wars. So, honestly, I don't really see the point of remaking Shadow of the Colossus if you're not going to include some of that cut content, but at the same time, the game does kind of have me hook, line and sinker. It looks amazing. I'm probably going to get it because it looks bloody incredible. Yeah, so I guess 5 out of 5 cane faces. I am very interested in it. And the last game they showed for the conference, which I was hoping was going to be Bloodborne 2, but it wasn't, of course it wasn't. It was The Last of Us Part 2. Is it Chapter 2? Part 2? I don't remember. But either way, that looks quite good. I've always been an Uncharted boy, you know, more of an Uncharted guy. The Last of Us is still very good though, and yeah, it looks like it's shaping up quite well. Like an idiot, I thought that was Ellie, like an older version of Ellie in that trailer. It wasn't until I saw the discussions earlier of like, whoa, new character, that's gotta be Ellie's mum. Yeah, that's Ellie's mum. Where I was like, oh, that wasn't Ellie. I'm really glad I haven't made the video yet. Yeah, I mean, obviously Ellie's mum, because it kind of resembles Ellie. So I'm not gonna be too hard on myself for not thinking that was Ellie, because it resembles Ellie. I also didn't see the tattoo on her arm, so I was like, why has Ellie not got the tattoo yet? That's weird. It's almost like it's not Ellie, but it is Ellie. Of course, it's Ellie. It's not Ellie. I'm going to get off that point now. It's not Ellie. I thought it was, though. According to the fans, that is Ellie's mum, and her name's Anna. I don't remember seeing her name in the game or the movie. I don't know. I guess her name was brought up. But yeah, Ellie's mum, Anna, is going to be in the game. I'm interested to see how she plays in the story. I can see them probably going for a whole thing where it's like, oh, do I go... You know, Ellie's probably going to be like, do I go with Joel or do I go with my mum? You know, this is, you know... But, I mean... I don't know, Ellie's going to be like an adult in the game, so it's probably not going to be a thing. I don't know, it's probably going to be a very emotional game, and it looks very brutal, very bloody brutal, my god. I remember Neil Druckmann saying that the theme of the first game was love, whereas the theme of the sequel is very much hate, like the story's very much, you know, driven by hate. I can kind of see that. It looks a lot more dark, you know, and the first game was already pretty bloody dark. It started with Joel losing his daughter, so yeah. Pretty dark, pretty brutal stuff, and I can't wait for it. I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 cane faces, only because I can wait. You know, I'm not, you know, driven like mad to play it. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna be glad that I've played it, and as soon as I start playing it, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, it's The Last of Us 2. 10 out of 5 cane faces. But right now, it's like, you know, I have other things on my plate. You know. 3 out of 5, you know. Make it 4, because I don't want to annoy anyone. I just noticed the toilet roll. I don't know how long that's been there. I blew my nose a while ago, so that's why that was there. Yeah. Anyway, what was I talking about? And that was how they ended the conference. It was a bit shorter than I thought it would be, but I mean, it's not E3. It's just a little side thing, just a little thing they did while they were in Paris on vacation. They were like, hey, let's do a conference. Why not? I've got a day free. So, you know what, you know, quite a few cool things. They also showed off, you know, Guacamelee 2, which looks quite cool, Spelunky 2. So, you know, I haven't got into everything they showed, but, you know, those are the big hitters, the main things, I suppose. There was, Between Gardens or something that looks quite cool, like a very, like, puzzle-driven, like, simplistic, minimalistic kind of thing. That looks quite cool as well. So, yeah, there's quite a lot for, like, a little thing that I watched off the cuff. But I don't know. The conference as a whole, probably give it about a 3 out of 5. I'm very into rankings today. I really like ranking things. I don't know. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the conference. What did you guys think? What was your biggest, you know, thing of the conference? Mine was probably Shadow of the Colossus, I guess. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting much, so I don't know. Yeah, I need to end this video already. That's everything from me. See you at the next conference, I guess. This has been Farfetched. Bye! You know what, I'm going to keep this video going. People are going to be like, why has this video still got like 10 minutes left? He's done talking about it, because this video doesn't end. Let's make some pizza. Absolutely everyone's going to stop watching the video at this point, because they're not going to want to watch me cook a pizza. By the way, Chicago Town Pizza, I'll probably give it about 4 out of 5 cane faces. I'm very interested in it, it's very good. I mean, you know, I did only watch the conference because I expected them to show off Bloodborne 2. I guess that was a bit, you know, kind of wishful thinking, I suppose, because they're not going to do that. I do think they are working on a Bloodborne 2. but bon appetit. How am I even gonna eat that? What the? Oh my! Come on, man. There's the pizza I saved for myself to celebrate my Halloween video going up on time. There's my celebration meal. Oh, God. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do think a Bloodborne 2 is in development because Bloodborne 1 was incredible and Sony knows it. So I think they're definitely gonna, you know, put them on Bloodborne 2. But it's just a case of when that's going to get revealed, I suppose. Probably E3. That is an E3 reveal. You know, that's a big hitter. I feel like they know that's what everyone's waiting for, and they're not gonna bloody, you know, they're not gonna do that at some Paris thing. They're gonna announce that when it's right, E3. But I can't wait that long because it's probably not gonna come out that same year unless they make it like a Christmas 2008 thing. 2018. Bloody hell, what year am I living in? What do you guys think? Bloodborne 2. I'm spending more time in this conference thoughts on video talking about a game that wasn't even there, but that's my point. I think Sony knows what people kind of wanted to be there. I think they're absolutely working on a Bloodborne 2. But as for the conference itself, the point of this video, yeah, I mean, I had to hold this a bit better. I don't know why I'm doing this. No one's watching this anymore. Why would they? The whole point of the video's over. So I'm going to go eat my mediocre pizza now. Thanks, Chicago Town. I give you 1 out of 5 cane heads. I revised the score to fit the shape of that pizza. Overall, the pizza was quite rancid. It kind of fell apart in my hands, even though, by all accounts, it should have been burnt. It was actually overcooked. Don't really know how this had happened. Just a travesty from beginning to end. Now, look, I know what you might be thinking. Kane, why are you ending your conference thoughts on video with a pizza review? It's like my profile pic on my channel. I'm eating pizza in that. I could say it's foreshadowing.